Dear students, let us start sixth lesson. In this, the first topic we choose is scalar product of two vectors. Scalar product of two vectors. So before going to that, first, what is a vector? Vector is a physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction. For example, let us choose displacement. Suppose this is origin, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and I have drawn a circle with radius 2 meters. Suppose 2 meters. So now I say I was initially at origin, afterwards I travelled 2 meters of distance. See, another physical quantity came. Distance. How much distance you have travelled? 2 meters of distance. So that answer is enough for you. But when I say I have my displacement is here distance 2 meters, that answer is okay. When I say my displacement is 2 meters, that is not enough. In which direction you have travelled this 2 meters? So here I have to mention the direction also. But of course here we have only 4 directions: east, west, north, south. Suppose I have travelled in this direction by 2 meters. Then how to specify my direction? So there is a way we mention the direction with the help of angle. See, this is a vector. This is a displacement vector. This stands for displacement vector, and the direction is shown by angle this vector makes with x-axis. So in this way, displacement is a vector. It stands for magnitude as well as direction. Okay. Now, as far as vectors are concerned, in the previous classes or in the previous lessons, see, there are some mathematical operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. These are the 4 mathematical operations. Now we perform these operations on vectors also. For example, let us consider addition. Addition of 2 vectors. How we perform? Suppose initially your displacement was from A to B in this direction. Afterwards your displacement was from B to C in this direction. Here 2 meters, here 3 meters. Then what is the resultant displacement? If anybody asks, you do not add 2 plus 3 5, no, not like that. 2 plus 3 5 meters, that becomes a distance, not the resultant displacement. So then what you do, initially I was here, finally I am here, so a straight line from initial position to final position. This gives you the resultant displacement. And if this is vector x, how we show here, suppose this is vector A and this is vector B, this is shown as addition of these two vectors. So in this way we add two vectors. The addition of two vectors is given by like this. See, a vector is drawn like this. Second vector's tail is joined to the head. See, suppose this is a vector. This is head. This is tail. So here, see, its tail is joined to its head. Like that we do. So the sum of the two vectors, to get that you draw a straight line from its tail to its head like this. So in this way we find the addition of two vectors. Suppose next, coming to subtraction, how you perform subtraction on vectors? Very easy. See here, suppose 3 minus 2 is there, subtraction of two numbers, but this is can be written as 3 plus minus 2. So both are same, but this is expressed differently. Similarly, suppose I want a minus b, a vector minus b vector. I write this as a plus minus b. So here a vector, this is the a vector. So let me write like this, a plus minus b is equal to a minus b. So subtraction is defined like this. Like this means what? Here first vector is taken as it is, but the second vector is shown like this, plus of minus. So here how graphically we show here. So this is a vector, and to this vector you have to add minus b. How to get minus b? If this is b, this becomes minus b. Magnitude same, but this minus tells you about the opposite direction. If b is in this direction, minus b will be in its opposite direction. So this is a and this is minus b. Now you are adding the two vectors. So here to here a, here to here minus b. So here to here will be a plus minus b. That is nothing but a minus b. In this way you do subtraction. Now coming to multiplication. Multiplication of two vectors. Multiplication of two vectors. So here the multiplication of two vectors is done in two ways. So one method is, in one method we get scalar product. In another method you get vector product. That is, if you take a vector a and another vector b, and see this scalar product also has another name, and that is a dot product. Dot product. This also has given one cross product. cross product. So in the scalar, if you do the scalar product is shown like this. Suppose A is a vector, B is another vector. So scalar product of the two vectors is shown like this. And here this is written as AB cos theta. And when you have when how this vector product is defined, again you take the two vectors, in between you put the symbol, here you put the symbol dot, here you put the symbol cross, and you write here C. See what is the difference here and here? Here, see, vector is denoted by a bar on its head. This is a vector, this is a vector. But here you got something, but here nowhere you can see bar. It means what? This is a scalar. By taking dot product of two vectors, you are getting a scalar. Whereas taking cross product of two vectors, you are getting a vector. That means scalar product gives scalar, vector product gives vector. And this C is shown, the magnitude of C is expressed as AB sin theta. So in this way we have two types of product, we have two types of multiplication of two vectors. One method is getting scalar product and another is vector product. Now let us concentrate on the scalar product of two given vectors. Scalar product of two vectors. Scalar product of two vectors is its definition. How it is defined? A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. In this way it is defined. In this way it is defined. See here this is a vector, this is a vector, this is dot. And the dot product of two vectors is equal to this much. Here A on its head there is no bar. It means A is magnitude of a vector. This also can be shown like this. So if there is no bar means it stands for magnitude. Similarly, B is magnitude of B vector, and this also can be written in this way also. And theta. Theta is angle between these two vectors, angle between A and B. Let us draw a diagram here. Suppose this is A vector. Suppose this is B vector. This is angle between the two vectors. Now, see, A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. We can write this in two ways. See, A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. Now, so far it is just mathematical. Now we want its significance. Let us see that. So now I can write this as A into B cos theta. Like this I can write B cos theta. See, this is B vector. If I take its projection onto this vector, what will be this? See, what will be this means, if you don't know, let this be x. Okay, now write cos theta. Cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. This gives x is equal to b cos theta. So this is nothing but this is b cos theta. So here to here b cos theta. So here now you can write here, this is a means what? Magnitude of a vector multiplied by what is b cos theta? It is component of, see, in this direction this is b vector, but here to here this is component of b vector in a vector direction. So b cos theta is nothing but component of b along a, component of b along a. So we can write in another way also. For example, this is a vector and this is b vector. This is theta. A dot b is equal to a cos theta into b. Like this also we can write. So a cos theta. So this is a. You draw a perpendicular onto b. Perpendicular like this. So if this is a, this will be its component along b. So now what you can write? Component of a along b into magnitude of b vector. So in this way also we can write. Now let us consider some examples for the scalar product. All this is just a mathematical part, but ours is physics, and in our physics, what is the need of knowing the scalar product, you may ask. So let us take some examples for the scalar product. Suppose a block is there, and you are pulling the block by applying some force. So initially it was here, and you have pulled the block from here to here. You have pulled the block from here to here. So you have produced some displacement. What is the displacement? D. See, F also a vector. So you applied some force, and in the direction of force you caused some displacement, and that is d bar. So when you apply force on an object and you displace it, then you say you have done some work, and work done is defined as force into displacement. Force into displacement. But here, whenever I say displacement, you do not get satisfied. Displacement is a vector. In which direction it is displaced. That also I should mention. Force also a vector. In which direction you have applied the force, you immediately ask me. Therefore, let me write here force into displacement. Here displacement, see, force has got some direction, and displacement is in the direction of force. In this way, work done is defined. See, work done is equal to force into displacement in the direction of force. Okay, here work done is equal to force is F and displacement in the direction of force D. Like this we write. Now let us take another example. You have tied a rope to this and you are pulling. You have tied a rope and you are pulling the block. So now the block moved from here to here. This is displacement. This is displacement. You see, when you are pulling the block with the help of a rope, the force will be working in the direction of the rope. So this is force vector, this is displacement vector, and these are not in the same direction. And work done is defined as force into displacement in force direction. Displacement into force direction. Okay, force is F. Displacement, actually displacement magnitude is D, but here that is not asked. You take component of displacement here. Component of displacement in force direction. So immediately what you do, you draw a perpendicular onto this, and this is theta. If this is D, this will be D cos theta. Therefore here you write D cos theta. That becomes FD cos theta. Or you can define this in another way also. See here, again the same diagram. In this direction is force is applied and the block is displaced from here to here. This is displacement vector. This is the angle between two vectors. Now I can define work done in another way also. Displacement into component of force in along displacement. Displacement into component of force along displacement. Okay, W is equal displacement D. Component of force, total force you are not taking, only along displacement how much force you have taken. Suppose it is up to here, suppose force like this. For our convenience, I will take. Now you draw perpendicular onto D vector. If this is F, if this is theta, this will be F cos theta. F cos theta. So here you take F cos theta. Work done is defined as displacement multiplied by component of force along displacement, or force into component of displacement along force. So in this way the work done is defined. So in either case you are getting the same thing. Here also FD cos theta and here also FD cos theta. So mathematically we represent this by F dot D. Here also you write F dot D. So W is defined as F dot D. In this way you define work. And you see, force is a vector, displacement is a vector, but W is a scalar. This is vector, this is a vector, but work done is a scalar. And force is measured in newtons, displacement is measured in meters, and work done is measured in joules. So like this we have taken one example. You can take another example also. Second example is potential energy. Potential energy. What is potential energy? Suppose an object is on a ground. You have on this gravitational force is working. If you apply some force on that, if you apply some force on that and you lift the object to some height, or let me write here, since this is along y-axis, I can write y also, y bar. Displacement is along y-axis. So I am applying some force and I am lifting it through some vertical distance. So applying force and causing displacement. So the product of force, see, force into component of, see here what I am doing, what I am applying, I am applying some force and into component of displacement along force F. Component of displacement along force only it is displaced. Now see here, what does this denote? Work done. So here so I did some work in lifting the body. Is the work done being wasted? No. Whatever work I done gets stored as potential energy inside the mass. So the work done becomes potential energy. Okay, now here to lift the body, how much force I must apply. So for that, see how much gravitational force is working downward. You must apply at least this much force. Of course, you can apply more than this also, but minimum this much force. Then only it can be lifted. If you apply force less than this value, it cannot be lifted. So if you take minimum value, how much force must be applied? mg for equal to this force must be applied. So here let me write mg force must be applied to lift. This is y. So for potential energy you got the formula. See, in this way both examples are for, you may think here cos theta did not come because here both are in same direction. Of course you can write like this, f dot y, you can write. So here what happens, f y cos 0, because both are in same direction, therefore the angle between f and y is 0. So again this is of the model fy cos theta, like that. So for scalar product we take two examples, one work done as well as potential energy. Now let us consider properties of the scalar product. Properties of scalar products. First property, A dot B is equal to B dot A. This property is called as commutative property. This property is called commutative property. See whether this correct or not, we have to check. A dot B means A B cos theta. B dot A means B A cos theta. See, A is a number, B is a number. Here for example let me take A is a number, B is another number, cos here 30 degrees. Here B is a number, A is a number, cos suppose 60 degrees. 60 degrees. 2 3 is 6 into cos 60 means 1 by 2. 3. 6 into 1 by 2. 3. Both are same. Right. So this is possible because scalar dot product gives a scalar. Therefore it is possible. A dot B can be equal to B dot A. If you take cross product, for example, they are not equal. For example, you cannot write A cross B is equal to B cross A. Why? Means suppose A cross B gives you C bar, B cross A gives you minus C bar. Are these two equal? No, they are oppositely directed. So you cannot write like this. But in scalar product you can write. Okay, now let us consider another property. So this is called distributive property. Distributive property. See, scalar product obeys distributive property also. See here dot is there, no? A dot B plus. So like this. First you take A dot B. Afterwards you take A dot C. So like this you can take. Next. Third one. Now let us consider scalar product of unit vectors. See, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. If you take a vector along x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. See here you have taken a vector of magnitude 1 and in the direction of x-axis. This unit vector is represented by I. If you take unit vector like this, see same unit magnitude but it is taken in negative x direction. Therefore this becomes -I. -I. If I take a vector from here to here, its magnitude is 3 and it is along I vector, therefore I write here 3I. Its magnitude is 3 times its magnitude, but direction is same, like this. So this is about see what is I. I is a unit vector along x-axis. Similarly, if you take unit vector along y-axis, that is represented by j, and if you take along in this direction, that is -j, like this. And suppose you take 3 axis. Unit vector along x-axis is denoted by I vector, along y-axis is denoted by j vector, and along z-axis is represented by k vector. All these are unit vectors. Okay. Now let us find scalar product of two I vectors. So how scalar product is defined? Scalar product is defined as A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. A is magnitude of A vector, B is magnitude of B vector, and theta is angle between these two. So now I should take its magnitude. Its magnitude is 1 because this is a unit vector. This also unit vector. Cos. What is the angle between two I vectors? I vector is along x-axis. Both are along x-axis only. Therefore the angle will be 0. and cos 0 gives 1, so you get 1. Now if you take j dot j, this is unit vector, this also unit vector, cos, and both are along y-axis, therefore 0. Next k dot k, unit vector, cos, both are along z-axis. So in this way, I dot I is equal to j dot j is equal to k dot k is equal to 1. Now let us take scalar product of I vector and j vector, that is represented as I dot j. I magnitude is 1, j magnitude is 1, cos, angle between I and j, I is along x-axis, j is along y-axis, angle between x and y-axis is 90 degrees, but cos 90 is 0, 0 into something 0. Similarly, j dot k, we get, since j and k are at 90 degrees, therefore here also you get 0. If you take k dot I, that also you get 0. Therefore we can write I dot j, j dot k, or k dot I is 0. But one thing, okay, so this is about unit vectors. This is about unit vectors. Now let us consider a vector. See, here you consider a point. Here you consider a point. P. Its coordinates x, y, z, because the point is in space, so it is represented by 3 coordinates. Now here if you draw a vector from origin to P, so this represented by r bar. This represents a position vector of this point. Where is that point means? Here is the point, and it is, if represented by a vector, that vector is called position vector. So here what we do, the position vector is written as, so it is having 3 components. It is having x component. See, here I have already shown you. First let us consider only a plane, no z-axis, Suppose you have chosen a point here, it has only 2 coordinates, Now you draw a line here to here. This vector is represented by r, and it is called a position vector. This is called position vector. This shows the position of the point P. Where is the point P? So it shows the position of P. Now here you draw perpendicular onto x-axis and onto y-axis. X-coordinate means what? Distance along x-axis. The point is at a distance of x units along x-axis. Similarly, the point is at a distance of y units along y, like that. But here what we do, along x-axis the unit vector is represented by I. So if its displacement is 1 up to here I, up to here 2I, up to here 3I, up to here 4I, like this. If it is x, it becomes xi. So here to here it is xi. xi or ix. ix or xi. Now here to here j, 2j, 3j, 4j, 5j, yj. So